Good evening, guys, and welcome to another major episode of Triggered. Thanks for tuning in, as always. This is one I'm actually really excited about. We're joined today by James O'Keefe. James has been a leading, if not the leading, conservative journalist now for over a decade. He's breaking the stories that mainstream media doesn't want to touch, although you'd think if they were real journalists, they'd be all over it. They choose not to be. His hidden cameras have exposed just about everyone, from Google to Pfizer to government officials. James just founded the O'Keefe Media Group after leaving Project Veritas, and we're going to get right to James. We're going to do it a little bit differently this time. He had a hard out, so I wanted to make sure we had time to get to all of the questions. I'm going to be watching some of your questions live as well, so we'll do that, and I'll go news of the week at the end of the show once we're over with James, because that way we can cover some of the other major stories of the week, like, our Banana Republic indicting my father and his arraignment in Miami on Tuesday. So we'll go all of that, but in reverse order with news of the week last. So guys, make sure you like, subscribe, etc., right now. Just hit that like button. Make sure we can get the message out. You see what we're up against in the mainstream media with big tech censoring everything that's going on. Let's make sure we're in this fight together. We ain't getting any help from mainstream media. We're not going to get any help from big tech or establishment or anyone there. So we got to do it ourselves, and that's just fine, but we can't do it without you guys. So thanks for all of that. It's you guys who make this show possible, along with some of our sponsors like Goldco, where you can take the steps to protect and grow your retirement savings. Guys, let's be honest. We see the economic storm brewing. We see the banks collapsing. We see inflation and everything else, interest rates going through the roof. I just want you to be prepared. Gold and silver can protect your retirement savings from inflation and dollar devaluation, and owning tangible, physical, and inflation hedging gold and silver can help diversify your portfolio and give you the protection you need to safeguard your investments. The guys at Goldco will take you through the whole process step by step. You can learn about it before committing, but just understand what's going on, because again, we want you to be prepared. More importantly, they support your values. It takes guts to support a show like this, so support the companies who support you instead of supporting the woke companies who, frankly, hate your guts. Go to donjrgold.com, that's DONJR gold.com, where you can get a free IRA gold kit where you can learn about everything there is to know about diversifying your portfolio. And speaking of being protected, the corollary to all of that is protecting your information. So I want to tell you about secure private data. We all understand, folks, that our privacy is under attack, and we certainly can't trust big tech or the government to protect it. We've seen what's going on there, and it ain't pretty. Secure, spelled a little bit differently, SEKUR, is a private application offering secure private email, VPN, and instant messaging. Secure's technology allows you to communicate online privately without the fear of spying from big tech companies, your internet service provider, your email provider, or even hackers. And Secure has its own encryption, meaning your emails, chats, web surfing are encrypted at the highest levels and protected by Swiss data privacy laws, some of the most effective in the country. So again, Secure actually supports your values and isn't caving to the woke mob that controls big tech. Go to donjrsecure.com, that's DONJRSEKUR.com, where you can get a 15% discount off any of their solutions for the next 5 years. Go to donjrsecure.com and take back your privacy. And guys, joining me now, founder of the O'Keefe Media Group, is James O'Keefe. James, how you doing?
Great to be with you.
Good to have you, man. So, to start, you have a big story out, and in the little chat we had earlier, I guess you have another one coming out on Tuesday, so I'd love you to tease that, but you have an investigation suggesting major fraud with the Democrat Party's premier fundraising platform, ActBlue. Your investigation found that elderly people are being named as having given thousands of dollars to Democrats, but they've never given to them. Here's a couple of clips from the report. We'll take a look, and I'll come back to you with your thoughts on it.
Sound about right? There's been 18,000 contributions
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
in the amount of like $170,000.
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So that's not you doing that?
No, it's not.
But does the frequency ring a bell that you're donating that much every like 10 times a day sometimes?
No.
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 Do you think someone is maybe fraudulently
Well, they
debiting
must
your
be.
accounts or
They
something?
must be. ActBlue is the one I use for political
Right, yep.
donations, and I do not make that kind of political donation.
The past 2 years that you gave 5,300 times. Does that number make sense?
5,300 times?
Yes.
How much is the money?
$86,708. Does that number make sense to you?
$86,000?
Yeah.
Max, I did that.
21 and 22, do you think you gave over $30,000?
No. No. I don't give $200 or $150.
Wow. So James, what's going on here? What do you think you found? What's the volume, the scope of this? Obviously, it seems illegal to me. I have a feeling if Republicans were doing this, there'd be actual consequences. What's happening right now?
Well, and Congress is now getting involved, Don. Senator Rubio, Congressman Gates have written to the FEC, written to the chairwoman of the FEC. It's alarming reports there you see from the field, citizen journalists. Some of them work for me, some of them just inspired to do this on their own. Fraudulent donations being reported to the FEC by ActBlue. A lot of individuals, mostly senior citizens, we found living in lower middle class to middle class homes, have reportedly donated thousands of times to ActBlue a year. Like, these people have no idea that they're doing this. Some of these interactions are quite funny. The one in Annapolis, I knocked on the guy's door and he said he wants to shoot Donald Trump in the head. It's people, obviously Democrats,
Yeah.
but they're shocked that thousands of dollars of money is being apparently laundered through their home address. Now, as Rubio pointed out in his letter, it comes as no surprise to ActBlue serves as a vessel for fraud, considering there's no institutional security or safeguards ingrained with their donation processes. They don't require a CVV number on the transaction. So we haven't yet figured out, Don, who or what is exactly behind this. We just know that there is fraud and that thousands of dollars, thousands of times are going through these innocent people's addresses.
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all. I look at some of these congressional races and Senate races across the country, and the Democrats are outspending the Republicans 10-1. I mean, the money's coming from somewhere, and they certainly don't have a shortage of sort of globalist billionaires that would be willing to fund those things. But it seems like, there are limitations to what those people can fund individually, so maybe this is how they've done that. And I mean, if you've just discovered that many, if this is tens of thousands of people, I mean, this could be just literally game-changing and obviously extremely illegal. But again, there seem to be consequences only one way right now, unfortunately.
Well, I did speak to Peter, a guy named Peter Election Watch. This is a group in Wisconsin that gathered a lot of this FEC data, and he's about to file a complaint, a federal lawsuit. And without getting into the specifics, he has talked to me about some of this tracing they've done, trying to figure out where is this coming from. He calls it tracing packets. And according to him and the software that he's using, he's saying 60% of the money seems to be coming from China, according to Peter Election Watch. He's working